What's going on, guys? Auzio here. Welcome back to a brand new video. So today I'm going to show you guys my 20-0 custom tactics. I ended up finishing 20-0 on the main account and 19-1 on the RTG. So we hit rank 1 on both accounts for the first week in league in FC 24. A link to the rewards video will be in the description. The team on the main account is absolutely insane. We got players like Mbappe, Dembele, Hansen, Portelas. We've even got an icon in there as well. Zambrotta, yeah, he's the real deal. He also costs like around 500,000 coins. The team on the RTG, though, it's nowhere near the level of the team on the main account. We have like Sophia Smith, Alex Morgan, Rodman, Swanson. It's still a good team, but nowhere near the main account team, and we still ended up hitting rank 1 with these custom tactics. So let's get into it. I'm going to show you guys my balanced tactics to start it off. As soon as I get into the game, I'd rather switch over to my defensive tactic or my attacking tactic, but there is times I do forget, and that's why I think it's very important to do these balanced tactics, because if you do forget, at least you've got something there. So the defensive style is balance, the width is 45, the depth is 71, build up play balance, chance creation is direct passing, width 50, plays on a box 7, corners 3, and free kicks on 2. 71 depth is just the way to go right now. It is unbelievable how your attack, your midfield, pushes in front of your opponent's players and just presses them into making a mistake, and then you get yourself a really nice quick counter attack. Players in the box being on 7, I want a good amount of players going forward. It's just one of those things where I don't want to have a situation where I'm like in a good position but I haven't got any options at all. So having 7 players in a box is going to allow you to have pretty much an option every single time. When it comes down to the instructions, now keep in mind this is the formation I'm using to get my team on chemistry, so you're most likely going to have a different formation. What I do recommend though is having a good amount of players come back on defense, because even though you can switch over to your attacking tactic or defensive tactic as soon as you get into the game, it does take a few minutes in game to actually process and switch the players into the right position and give them the like instructions and all of that kind of stuff. So what I would recommend is have a good amount of players come back on defense so you can defend against kickoff as good as possible. So for the goalkeeper, I have him on default, centre backs default as well, right back stay back while attacking, and that's the same thing with the left back. The middle centre mid stay back while attacking, cover centre. My right centre mid stay back while attacking, cover centre, but I allow Portelas to go forward and do what she wants. She can come back on defense, she can go forward, she can get inside the box and give me an option. With the attackers, because it is a 4-3-3, I don't really like giving my attackers instructions in a 4-3-3, just because I feel like just having them pretty much balancing everything, where they can cut inside if they want to, they can stay out wide if they want to, they can make a run in behind if they want to, all of that kind of stuff. I feel like just having these attackers on balance is the way to go in a 4-3-3. Now, the tactic I do switch to as soon as I get into the game is rather my defensive tactic or my attacking tactic. It does depend on my opponent. If I see my opponent has got a stacked team, we're talking about lone Dino, lone Henri, which I know a lot of people match this weekend, I will most likely switch over to my 4-2-3-1 custom tactic, simply because I feel like it's better on defense than my 4-3-2-1. But if I feel like my opponent's team ain't really anything too special, I will switch over to the attacking tactic. So the first one I am going to show you guys is my defensive tactic. I have actually already shown you guys this. I showed you guys, I think it was a few days ago, I made a tactics video for this. So the defensive style is balanced, the width is 45, the depth is 71. Build up play balance, chance creation is direct passing, width 50, players in a box on 8, corners 3, and free kicks on 2. I know a lot of people, they look at the players on the box being on 8, they're like, whoa, that's very high, especially compared to like a lot of tactic videos that you've probably seen elsewhere. The players on the box being on 8 in a 4-2-3-1 makes a lot of sense, all right? Just trust me, it works insanely well, and that's why I've got it on 8 in a 4-2-3-1. On like the 4-3-2-1, you're going to see this a little bit different. But yeah, 8 players in a box on a 4-2-3-1. Chance creation, direct passing, pushes back your opponent's defensive line, allowing you to have more space to work with. And the depth being on 71, I already explained it. It is so good this year. Instructions: goalkeeper default, centre backs default as well. Your right back stay back while attacking, your left back on balance. What you're going to want to have here is a player that can actually go forward. So like a Ferland Mendy, Alfonso, those two honestly are like the best ones. Zambrotta, I've got Zambrotta in this team to get Portelas, to get Hansen on chemistry. It really does help out. And on top of that, Zambrotta obviously is an amazing, amazing fullback. He isn't like insanely good going forward. I definitely will say like players like Ferland Mendy and Alfonso are better, but he's good enough to be in that position for me. CDMs, Rolfo and good old Valverde as my CDMs. Can't passing lane, stay back while attacking, cover center on both of these. The middle cam is going to be on get in the box for a cross. The right cam and left cam is going to be on comeback on defense, get in the box for a cross. And the striker is going to be on getting behind, stay forward. What I've actually seen on some people's 4-2-3-1 is they put this as like stay central and sometimes even drift wide. I like having it balanced just because I feel like they will go out wide when they need to go out wide and they will stay central when they need to stay central. It's more about like just believing in your striker to have really good movement. Obviously, I've got a really top tier striker like Mbappe. You guys know Mbappe's movement is obviously going to be top tier. While on my RTG, I've got Smith and her movement is really nice as well. So yeah, it's more about believing in your attacker to make the right adjustments and making the right movement so they can give you a passing option. The tactic that obviously want to show you guys is the 4-3-2-1 as well. So as I said, I will switch to this if I feel like my opponent hasn't got that great of a team and I want to be more offensive. I want to have more options going forward and score more goals. So the attacking tactic, defensive style, balance. The width, 45. The depth, 71. Build up play, balance. Chance creation is direct passing. The width is 45. Players in the box on 7. Corners 3. And free kicks is going to be on 2. Now, the reason I've switched these tactics, so a few days ago, I made a 4-3-2-1 custom tactic video, and it had slightly different tactics. The reason I've now put this to 71 is because of how the AI supports you. It's insane if you're realizing that your opponent is pressing you crazy good, like too well. It's because of this. It's because your opponent has 71 depth on. It is broken. It's amazing. And it just presses your opponent into making mistakes if you have that on. Same thing when it comes down to obviously direct passing. As I said multiple times, it just pushes back your opponent's defensive line, having more space to work with in the midfield. Players in the box, I put that down by 1 on the 4-3-2-1, just because I felt like having it on 8 was a little bit too much in this formation. Instructions, goalkeeper, default. Centre backs, default as well. The right back, stay back while attacking, and the left back is default. So same defensive tactics as the 4-2-3-1. Just having a player in this left back position that's able to go forward is really, really nice. In the midfield, your middle centre mid is going to be on stay back while attacking, cover centre, and that's the exact same thing for your right centre mid as well. Your left centre mid is going to be on balance. Your right centre forward, get in behind, come back on defense. Striker, balance, don't touch him, don't have him on anything special. And your left centre forward is going to be on get in behind, stay forward. Now, with these tactics, what you're going to notice on defense is it actually defends in a 4-4-2. So what you're going to notice is players like Portela, so your left centre mid, is actually going to get pushed out wide to a left mid position on defense. These two, so your middle centre mid and your right centre mid, is going to be acting like your two holding centre mids. And your right centre forward, because he or she is on comeback on defense, she or he will push into a right mid position. So it defends in a 4-4-2. But it goes forward in a 4-3-2-1. It's quite like, I don't know, it's quite, I like it. I like how balanced it is because it defends in a different formation, but it goes forward in the actual formation that you are playing. It's quite weird when you first look at it, but honestly, once you get used to it, you're going to absolutely love it. This is a formation that a lot of pro players as well are using right now. Now, if I'm struggling and I'm trying to get back into a game, ultra attacking, full send, and that is the 4-3-2-1 formation. In the past, like previous years, I've used the 4-2-4, 4-2-2. I used a 3-back at one point as well, which was really good. But I don't really find these 3-back formations, these 4-2-4 formations, really that great this year to press your opponent and try to get that ball as quick as possible. In my opinion, it doesn't work anywhere near as well as it does last year. So what I've done is I've stayed with the 4-3-2-1, but made the tactics like a full send tactics. Defensive style, constant pressure. Width, 70. Depth, 90. Build up play, balance, chance creation is direct passing. The width is 35. The players in the box is on 9. Corners 4 and free kicks on 3. So yeah, you can really tell I have full sent it here. Players in the box on 9. Pretty much maxing out the amount of players that's going to be giving me a passing option inside the box. Chance creation being on direct passing. Always going to be the way to go. The depth on 90. I've pushed away from this 71 depth now. This is where I'm full sending. I am trying to get that ball as quick as possible. I need that ball to try to get back into this game. I need a goal is pretty much what I'm trying to say here. So having this depth on 90, I feel like having it on 100 is just way too much, by the way. 90 for me is perfect because it does make you vulnerable for like overtop through balls, but it's a risk you're going to have to take. If you're wondering, by the way, why my width is so low, is because in this formation, what you're going to notice with so many players going forward with like constant pressure, depth being up there as well, you want your players to be as close as possible, and it's just going to allow you to do a little nice passing play and just get through the middle quite easily. And that is why the width is on 35 and not anything crazy like 70, because I want them to be very close together so they can just pass between them, and then next thing you know, we're through on goal and we get a goal back. Instructions: so the goalkeeper, default. Centre backs, default as well. The right back is going to be on default. The left back is going to be on default as well. We're trying to get back into a game. We need players to go forward. The centre mids, all of them, default. I've tried out aggressive interceptions. I've tried out so many of these tactics to see if I actually like something different on these players. But honestly, I feel like getting the box for a cross is not it. I feel like aggressive interceptions is not it. I just feel like having these players on default and allowing them to move the way they want to move is like the way to go. For the attackers, default, default, default. When you're trying to get back into a game, most likely your opponent is putting a lot of players behind the ball. So having this on like get in behind, it's just not the way to go, because they're going to be making runs and they're going to pretty much not be giving you an option sometimes when you have it on getting behind. And as I said, the opponent probably is parking the bus. So having it on getting behind doesn't really make much sense because they're already, you know, touching the goalkeeper pretty much, right? The defensive line is holding hands with the goalkeeper. Where are they going to go? You know, they're not going to be able to get in behind. So having these on default, believing your attack's movement is the way. It's something very different to what I've done previous years, but trust me, it worked wonders. Now, the Ultra D. So if I'm trying to hold a lead against a really good opponent, maybe I'm 2-1 up, ultra defensive 4-2-3-1, but a second variation. So what you guys are going to notice between these two is, actually, let me show you here. So you notice how the 4-2-3-1, like the default one, has a left cam and right cam. The 4-2-3-1 second variation actually pushes the left cam and right cam into a left mid and right mid position. It's really nice on defense because it just feels like your wingers, they don't go as far forward as you maybe would like. Actually, you wouldn't like, because you're trying to hold a lead here. You get what I mean. It's pretty much them helping out the left back and right back more than if they were in a 4-2-3-1, because they're cams and they would be quite up there. So yeah, the 4-2-3-1 second variation I found really, really good this year just to hold a lead. And let me show you guys the tactics. Defensive style is balanced. The width is 40. The depth is 50. Build up play, balance. Chance creation is direct passing. The width is 50. Players in a box on 4. Corners 1, free kicks on 1. Having these two on 1 just makes sense, because if you do end up getting lucky and getting yourself a 85th minute corner or free kick, you don't want your centre back to be thrown inside the box, because you want that centre back to be back on defense so you don't concede. So just have it on 1 so they don't have many players going inside the box. The depth being on 50, so we've pushed the 71 depth press to a side now. We don't really want to press our opponent that hard. It's like you can press your opponent still with 50 depth, but 71 depth is way too much to press your opponent when you're trying to hold a lead here. 50 is the way to go. You don't want it any lower than this. 40, 30, you're inviting the Travellas and finesse shots, which are extremely, extremely good this year. Have it on 50. It's perfect. It doesn't invite the Travellas and finesse shots, and it doesn't make your team too high up, so you invite the overtop through balls. 50 is the way to go. Instructions: goalkeeper, default. Centre backs, default. Right back and left back, stay back while attacking on both of these. So we're not going to have one on default. We're just going to have these two holding positions, and we're going to have these two just sitting back while we're going forward, so we don't get counter-attacked. CDMs, cut passing lanes, stay back while attacking, cover centre on both of them. The right mid, come back on defense. The left mid, come back on defense. What you will notice is the defensive 4-2-3-1 tactic that I just showed you guys have our left cam and right cam on getting the box for a cross as well. When we're trying to hold a lead here, what you're going to notice if you have both of these on getting a box for a cross is when I have the ball with Dembele, so my left mid, Hansen, my right mid is going to be running up there for a cross. You don't want that, because if you got the ball with your left mid and you end up losing the ball, your right mid is going to be out of position and there's going to be an open gap to go straight up against your right back and even your left back as well. So just make sure both of these on a comeback on defense. The cam come back on defense as well, and the striker gets in behind. You don't need everyone to come back on defense. You don't need everyone to stay back while attacking. Having a striker just up there running around doing its own thing just allows you to have that freedom of, if you actually see an open space, if you see he or she is making a really good run, you can go for an overtop through ball and allow your midfielder and defensive line to push up and have a little bit of a breather, let's say. So yeah, make sure that striker is on get in behind. But that is going to be my 20-0 custom tactics. I hope these tactics do bring you a few more W's in Rivals, a few more W's in Foot Champs. Something I always say at the end of my custom tactic videos is give it a few games. Don't just give it 1 or 2 games and call it there. Give it a few games. You're going to have to learn how to play with the new formation, tactics, learn how the players move around the pitch as well. The more you use it, the better you're going to get with it. It's just how it is, and I've seen a lot of people that do play 1 or 2 games and then just call it a day, but trust me, that is not the way to go when testing out new custom tactics. You're just going to have to learn how to play with them. It may take a while, but trust me, these tactics are amazing. They got me 20-0 on the main account and a 19-1 on the RTG. If you want more custom tactic videos, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.